in ways you could never have imagined. You're not just another face in the crowd. You are someone who is in demand, who has mastered the art of self-preservation, and who does not allow others to take him for granted. And now, it's her who's left wondering why you're not as available as you once were. It's her who's trying to figure out how she lost someone who was once always within reach. It's your absence that has made you unforgettable. 8. Leveling up in silence. When life tests you, when a relationship crumbles or shifts, it's easy to want to make a big show of it. You could have posted about it on social media, telling the world about your pain, your growth, or your newfound strength. You could have thrown shade, trying to prove to her and everyone else that you were better off without her. But you didn't. You didn't need to announce your progress to the world, because true strength doesn't require validation. Instead, you leveled up quietly. You didn't make a spectacle of your transformation. You didn't need anyone to notice. And certainly, you didn't need anyone's approval. You made your changes in silence, through discipline, through quiet action, through daily decisions that led you towards becoming a better version of yourself. You focused on your craft, on your body, on your mind. You set goals and crushed them without fanfare. You didn't rush to announce every achievement, every milestone. You knew that your actions would speak louder than any words you could say. The quiet progress was your loudest declaration. The world may not have seen it in the moment. They didn't see the late nights, the early mornings, the small victories and setbacks that made up the journey. But eventually, they would. Your success wasn't tied to any single event or any single personate, wasn't about her or anyone else. For that matter, it was about your own journey. She may have been the spark, the catalyst for your change, but you were the one who lit the fire. And here's the beauty of it. When you rise in silence, you aren't chasing anything. You're simply becoming. You're becoming a version of yourself that no one can ignore. No one can diminish. It's this transformation, this quiet leveling up that has a ripple effect. She notices. The people around you notice. Even those who never fully appreciated you or understood your worth can't help but see the results of your silence. You didn't shout about it. You didn't broadcast your every move. You simply became better, and in doing so, you became unshakable. You created your own space in the world, and it's one where your value is undeniable. You didn't need to explain it. You didn't need to force it. Your success was inevitable because you were aligned with it. And when you rise in silence, the world catches up. That's the beauty of the process. You don't need to explain your transformation to anyone. Your results speak for themselves. The people who were once in your life, the ones who didn't see your worth, will soon be forced to acknowledge it. And those who never understood you will have to accept that they can't define you anymore. You've become something they can no longer ignore. 9. When she reaches out, it's inevitable. After the dust settles, after the silence has stretched on long enough, she will reach out. It may start as something casual, an innocent message, a simple, "Hey, how's it going?" Or perhaps a more calculated, "I've been thinking about you." It might be a test, a subtle way of seeing if you're still emotionally available, still willing to drop everything and chase her as you once did. The moment she sends that message, everything will come full circle. The dynamics have shifted, and she's about to realize just how much. But now, the man she once knew is gone. He's been replaced by someone stronger, someone who has reclaimed his sense of self, someone who understands the value of his time and energy. Your response, lack thereof, will be the defining moment. It will be the moment she understands the full scope of your transformation. In the past, you might have dropped everything at the sound of her name, eagerly awaiting the chance to converse, to explain, to prove that you were still invested. You would have tried to make sense of what went wrong, to grasp at any chance to restore the connection. But that man is no more. Now, you stand in your power, unmoved. You do not react, you respond. A message from her. It doesn't send you spiraling into old patterns of longing and desperation. You're not waiting for validation. You don't need her approval anymore. The silent man who once crumbled under emotional pressure now stands tall, knowing his worth and not letting anyone undermine it. If you choose to respond, it won't be to win her back. It will be a calculated decision to engage or not, based on your life, your goals, and your peace of mind. The words you speak, the silence you leave, will carry more weight than anything you could have said before, because now you understand the value of emotional restraint. You understand that giving your energy away isn't a sign of love or devotion. It's a sign of neediness, and you have outgrown that version of yourself. This is no longer a battle to win her love. It's about maintaining your own peace. And in that moment of calm, of measured response, she will feel the absence of that desperation, the absence of the man who once was caught in her orbit. You are no longer emotionally available, no longer tethered to her whims or moods. You have transcended the need for her validation, and that in itself is a victory. The most powerful action you can take is to continue being the man who is not at the mercy of another's moods or decisions. When she reaches out, she will be reminded of this fact. You are the man who commands his own destiny, and she is no longer a part of it unless she brings something real to the table. 10. The Stoic victory. The true victory. She expected you to chase. She expected you to fold, to beg for closure, to call and text endlessly, wondering what went wrong. She expected you to fall apart, to spend your nights rethinking every moment, every conversation, searching for the thing that would bring her back. But instead, she sees something unexpected. She sees the ghost of the man she left behind. The man who once needed her now stands as a figure she can barely recognize because he has outgrown her. He no longer seeks validation from her. He no longer allows her to occupy space in his mind without contributing something of value. The victory is no longer about her. It is about the man you have become. This is the true Stoic victory. It's not about getting her back. It's not about making her realize what she lost. It's about reclaiming your life, your time, your energy, and your peace. When you stopped chasing, when you stopped bending and breaking under the weight of her absence, you began the process of returning to yourself. And that was the only victory that truly mattered. The moment she walked away, she unknowingly gave you the gift of freedom. She thought you would crumble. She thought you would panic. But instead, you rose. You outlasted her. You evolved. The battle was never about her, it was about you. The true victory lies in your growth, your evolution, and your self-mastery. It lies in becoming the kind of man who no longer needs to chase after anyone. The kind of man who stands firm, who doesn't bend or break for someone who can't see his worth. You outlasted the game she tried to play, and in doing so, you became the embodiment of strength, stoicism, and resilience. The victory isn't measured by whether she comes back or not.